So Lorna Shelton Beck, check the system again, check your system and tell us what you're seeing now, because as far as we know and as far as we're experiencing, we're up and running. So you can tell us what's happening or not happening in that regard. In the meantime, let's see if we have any updates for you. We've been checking with the National Meteorological Service to see what they're putting out. Trying to find the latest. We have all of this already because these forecasts ended some time ago. Here's one of the videos which we have been encouraging our listeners and viewers to share with us. Goodness, this looks like Grand Spen, or is it Barbican? Grand Spen, wait, it looks familiar. Oh my goodness, these cars are swimming. Yes, it's Barbican. It is Barbican. Somebody's asking, so when that happens to your car, it can use afterwards? Yes, why not? Oh my goodness. Barbican, yes, some serious swimming. Vehicles are swimming. Oh my God. That's why you have insurance, right? Oh dear. Wow. So what we're seeing are vehicles, a couple of white vehicles. Heavily in water. Not underwater, but in water. And look at all these business places along the road. And this is, I saw the Fontana sign a while ago. Yes. Barbican, for sure. Well, thanks for sharing. The circumstances notwithstanding. But such is the nature. Oh my goodness, where is this one from now? Oh, this is Barbican again. It's another area. Oh, whoa, water gushing. And people standing in the water and videoing or recording videos. Oh, goodness. So with all the debris and the... Oh, wow. So another video. Wow. So this lady with an umbrella. Where is she? About knee high in the water. Let me see. And videotaping. Recording all that's happening. Yeah. Some frightening pictures here. Oh, this is what happened at Norman Manley International Airport. Almost 2 hours in holding pattern over NMIA. 5 attempts at landing due to poor visibility and winds. We're now trying to land in Mo Bay. Well. This is a tweet from Samara South. So she says almost 2 hours in holding pattern over NMIA, 5 attempts at landing due to poor visibility and winds. We are now trying to land in Montego Bay. What a thing. This one says, parked at Halfway Tree Transport Center, unable to make it home to Maxfield. Attempted once and felt the waters moving the van, and I turned back to Halfway Tree, making myself comfortable until it's safe to make my way home. Some serious flooding. Oh dear. Where is this now? Where is this one? Not sure. But wherever it is, that place is waterlogged. Lorna Shelton Beck just posted a series of slides. We need your support to fill the library shelves. Sounds like we need to have a quick talk with you, Lorna Shelton Beck. Yes. All right. We're going to have a quick word with you off air in just a moment. Just a moment. All right, let's get ready for the break here on the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. And right. All right. Well, Lorna Shelton Beck hasn't updated her message, because it's still saying we have lost your connection. And as far as I know, we are still very much connected. So I'm not sure what that is all about. Not sure what that is all about. Let's take the break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes past 8 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32, Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it is 1:15 p.m. in Bamako, Mali.
Tune into Farm Talk every second and third Tuesday of each month at 6:18 a.m. for the feature Hyper Food Independence. Hyper Food Independence will focus on solutions for farmers, such as land, animal husbandry, agronomy, and more. That's Hyper Food Independence every second and third Tuesday from 6:18 to 6:30 a.m. during Farm Talk, only on Power 106 FM. Hyper Food Independence is sponsored by Hypro.
Here is a financial literacy tip from your friends at Power 106 FM. Educate yourself. Take charge of your financial future and read a few basic books on personal finance. It is helpful to develop a basic investment vocabulary. It's also important to understand some basic investment principles, such as risk and
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And we're taking your calls, actually. We want to hear from you how you have been faring under the weather conditions of the last few days. Anxious to hear from you. Beverline says, good morning. Watching the flood on the road with these cars driving through. Question, is there drainage? Yeah, that's a question from Beverline in Toronto, Canada. Inez Ayona Campbell is telling us that it's raining in Bridgeport, Connecticut. So there you go. All right, so those are just a couple of messages. Franklin McDonald is calling us. We're going to have a word with Franklin McDonald in a little while, if he has the time. But let's just get in a word with Lorna Shelton Beck, since she was ahead in the queue. And let's go. Lorna Shelton Beck, good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
I am fine, thanks. And of course, Lorna Shelton Beck is the founder, operator of the Healthy Lifestyle Network Incorporated and the Shelton Project. Right, Mrs. Shelton Beck?
Yes, sir. Got it right.
Wonderful. So you just posted some information, and if you could just give us the background. Is it the start of your cycle in terms of your program of activities as an organization?
No, not really. Officially, our year ends December, but 2 years ago we started a project to establish a library at Port Antonio primary school. Sorry, a little too back. I was trying to get away. Yeah. So then COVID came and we got delayed. But now we are getting ready to accept a container of books to complete the library, and hopefully to share with a couple other primary schools. So we're seeking funding to help us to bring in the container. And of course, container is prime commodity. Mm-hmm. So the school will be utilizing the container also. Mm-hmm. So we have a fundraising campaign going on because the books are scheduled to come December. So we'll be starting January with work to complete the library at Port Antonio Primary School. So anyone who would like to donate to us, we have a PayPal account. It's sheltonproject@gmail.com. We have a Zelle, Healthy Lifestyle Network, and then we have Cash App, which is the $HLN Shelton Project. And, we take any donation, big or small, because this is quite a large expenditure for us to bring in the container. But we are excited to have the library established. And of course, we'll have books, we'll have a computer and other resources within the library at the Port Antonio Primary School.
And do you have any takers yet? Anyone on board yet? Whether individual or institution?
Not yet. We're hoping that we'll have some takers. So those of you listening, we need your support. We need your support. So please join the bandwagon and send us a donation, big or small.
And we hope they will respond. Generally speaking, though, I'm trying to remember, is this the time of year you're normally in town, so to speak?
No, I actually came in October for the Heroes Day celebration. I attended that. I had hoped to see you, but time ran out.
Yes.
But normally our big event is in March. We changed to March last year. So normally I would be there at this time. You're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Normally I would be there, but we changed last year because we were having some conflicts with Thanksgiving and our visitors. We switched. So we'll be back hopefully in March, and we'll have the Stand Up for Children weekend in March.
And for those unfamiliar, could you give us a synopsis of what that is all about?
So the Stand Up for Children is a 4-day event in Port Antonio where we work to educate the adults, the people involved with children on human trafficking, and to bring awareness and prevention of human trafficking and childhood sexual abuse. So this Thursday is when we do the educational component for adults. The Friday, we have the conference for the primary school children. And so we have a boys conference and a girls conference, really trying to get them to be aware, trying to give them the confidence to speak up if anything is happening with them, whether at home, school, or wherever, so that they know people to call and people that they can confide in if they're experiencing any form of sexual abuse, or if they have any suspicions of human trafficking, or just that general awareness. And then on the Saturday, we do a public health fair for the community in the center of town. And on the Sunday, we have the 5K race. So that's the 4-day weekend that we do in Port Antonio.
And you have marked the dates already for 2024?
Yeah, we're looking at around the weekend of the 16th. I know the 16th is part of the date, and I'm not sure if that's the Thursday or Friday, but it's that weekend.
Okay. Weekend of the 16th of March?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, it all centers around when the kids have exam, et cetera. So it has to work for the schools.
Yeah, the 16th is a Saturday. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then it would start that Thursday.
And then end on Sunday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you have started to mobilize attention and support, and we want to encourage you and commend you on your stick-to-itiveness and your commitment to this cause, and to encourage support from not just Jamaicans, but friends of Jamaica as well, at home and abroad. And we remind us of the website. Is there a website or page that listeners can go to?
Healthy Lifestyle Network, Inc. So it's Healthy Lifestyle Network, inc.org.
Okay, Healthy Lifestyle Inc.
No, Healthy Lifestyle Network.
Network, Healthy Lifestyle Network, Inc. .org. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful.
And of course, you know, we have Facebook page, Healthy Lifestyle Network Facebook page. So that's probably a little bit easier to find, but we're there, and we do have an Instagram page also, and all of it is Healthy Lifestyle Network.
Right. And in terms of the events that you normally host, are those dates been set already as well?
Well, we are working on April 21 for Earth Day because 22nd is a Saturday. So we'll have an Earth Fair event at the school. And of course, we're working on June 8th, which is World Oceans Day. And we usually have an activity for the kids. We really want to bring home the importance and significance of the ocean. So our goals are kind of in line with the sustainability goals.
Yes.
And then in terms of cultural events here in South Carolina, we are looking at June 15th for Charleston Carol Fest. And the last Sunday in August is usually the South Carolina Reggae Jerk and Wine Festival, where we celebrate Jamaica.
Right. So looks like you already have your hands full in terms. Well, we yes. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say we're introducing an event in between the January and June. We're actually going to do an event around painting because, we want to showcase that our Caribbean people are talented in more areas than music and food and dance. And we have
one moment, please. We'll give you an opportunity to pick up on that point after the break.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
8:30 in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 3:30 p.m. in Israel.
Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health.
Thanks for your patience, sir. Morning.
Power 106 FM's flagship program dedicated to health and wellness.
Hello.
Your one-stop show to power a healthy.
Thank you very much for holding. Can you, just pick up where you left off just before the break?
Yeah, we're having we have an awesome artist in Charleston, and we are putting together a program to showcase her work and also to educate our community. Like I started saying, we have people that are talented. We know this, that we have people from Jamaican people that are talented in every area you can possibly think of. And so we want to bring some attention to a different area as we celebrate Jamaica and the Caribbean. So this year we'll be actually introducing an art event to our community to showcase the talents of our Jamaican artists.
And thank you very much for sharing. As we wrap, just once again, I like to say the R in radio is for repetition. And they say repetition is the greatest form of pedagogy or pedagogy. Either pronunciation is accepted. So I'm going to ask you as we wrap. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, before we go, I would just like to give a shout out because Charleston entertained the called Bogle and the Warriors Debate Competition winners for a week in Charleston. The St. Thomas Renaissance Foundation, in association with the Jamaica Association for Debating and Empowerment, host this competition, and the winners came to Charleston and had a very successful week, showcasing their talents, educating other students, both high school and college students, on the art of debate. So it was a very meaningful week that they spent here, and we were just so very proud of them. And then the second thing I wanted to share with you is that on Thursday, we had 4 Jamaicans that took their oath of citizenship in Charleston.
Oh. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Lost you for a moment there. Yes, so that obviously went well. Yes. With the debaters.
Yes, that went very, very well. And our 4 Jamaicans who are now citizens of America, so they'll find some things a lot easier and will be able to participate more because now they're able to vote.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, but Jamaicans are on the move. And the debate team, they're hoping that this will be an annual stop for them. So something for us to prepare for so they can have an even more exciting time. You know, when you think about it, our Jamaican high school students are coming here and teaching debate skills to college students. That's an accomplishment.
It is. That's quite something. But that's what we do, right? We are Jamaicans.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Lorna Shelton Beck, doing great work as usual. Just to remind us of those contacts as well and points of contribution.
Yes, Healthy Lifestyle Network. We're seeking funding for a container of books to establish the school library. So you may contribute to us by PayPal at sheltonproject@gmail.com. You may use Zelle, Healthy Lifestyle Network. You may use Cash App, the $ HLN Shelton Project. No donation is too small. So we say thanks in advance. And for those of us this side, we say Happy Thanksgiving and think of us as you are thankful and contribute to Healthy Lifestyle Network so we may ensure our future by helping the kids with the library.
Well done. Thanks a lot, as usual, for your service to Jamaica and Jamaicans at home and abroad. We celebrate you and congratulate you. Well done.
Thanks, Dervan. God bless you. And
Bless you.
Stay safe and protected from this rain.
Indeed, we're doing our best. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All the best. Take care. Lorna Shelton Beck of the Healthy Lifestyle Network, speaking with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. And right now we're going to shift gear and we are going to head to Canada and see if we can find Franklin McDonald in Guelph, Canada. Mr. McDonald, good morning to you. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Dervan, and your listeners. I am reasonably well, but I wish I could hear more information from my parents' parish of St. Thomas.
Yeah, we wish the same. We actually, we have been trying this all morning to get a word from Stephen Shaw of the National Works Agency, but I would imagine he has to go out into the field with his team members, collect the data, come back in and prepare to address, I guess he would have to meet with the Prime Minister as well and so on and so forth.
Well, Dervan, it's ironic that when I was put to start up what became the Office of Disaster Preparedness, on a morning like this, a gentleman in the Ministry of Works, Public Works, Ken Kamika, would have already called me to tell me how much rain was recorded on the various gauges under the direct control of the Public Works offices spread out across the island. They had both rain gauges and VHF radios, and they would call in their rainfall overnight figures on the rainfall, and we would put it out, indicating that this was a raw data. X inches in Newmarket or X inches in Port Morant. And this would form the basis of decision making based on numbers. And I believe the telephone system with cell phones now give many more opportunities for that kind of information to be credibly and quickly handled so that everyone could get a sort of timely contextual wrap-up to say, here is what happened overnight. Back in those days in 1979, when the ODP was started, we even had a functional radar. I think the current situation is this morning, the ADPIM may well be trying to handle the situation with one hand tied behind its back because there is no radar working on the island of Jamaica.
Oh. Significant is that?
Well, as I tell you, handle a disorganized weather system going over your territory with your one hand tied behind your back. And to use a bad analogy for me, or with blindfolds on, because as you may not know, I am completely blind. So that is a disadvantage which I don't understand, because every modern state tries to put in place and maintain a functional radar. We have the good fortune that the radar in Guantanamo and in the hands of the government of Cuba remain working and over through Jamaica, so that we can get some radar image from radar systems based on the island of Cuba, whether they're in the hands of the government of Cuba or not. And those are actually put online. You can Google them. But I don't know whether or not we have the advantage this morning of looking back at what happened last night, how much rain fell and where. Mixing that with the satellite data and telling folks in Jamaica exactly what the situation is, because as I indicated in my little message to you, one of the things you worry about as an emergency manager is when you do not hear from people you should be hearing from. That may or may not mean something has happened, but you need to verify very quickly. And I've been listening very closely since Wednesday, and I haven't yet heard anybody quoting rainfall data. That doesn't need to be cleared with the political directorate. You can say that straight up.
Yes.
And in raw data, yet to be verified, but the public as a whole and the emergency services and the government organizations who have a job to do, whether it's a day of a crisis or not, like the Ministry of Social Security, etc., need to have a better and quicker, more timely picture what exactly has happened overnight. So back in those days, primitive as things were, no cell phone system, the public works would have reported into their head office, and their head office would have told me right away, here is the 15 or 18 rain gauge readings we have. This gives you a picture.
Yeah, well, I'm just seeing a couple of tweets here. Met Service JA, stop watching the sky and start watching your smartphone. Get reliable weather updates directly from the Meteorological Service of Jamaica with our new app, #JamaicaWeather.
Yeah, but with due respect, that does not replace the need for a functioning weather radar in the hands of the government of Jamaica, operated by the Met Service.
Yes.
That is the key instrument which I think will allow ADPIM to do its job properly and to really rebuild the credibility of the Met Service. An app does not replace a radar.
Yes. And
here is the other thing.
And the other thing is it's dated. I mean, meaning you're not seeing today's date. You're seeing.
Well, here's the other thing.
Yes.
Because there is no local information moving in a timely manner, the public naturally fills that space with information from wherever they can find it.
True.
And therefore, it is not credible to say do not look at outside sources. Human nature is such that we consume information. We use information to build knowledge. And no one is going to sit waiting for it. We saw, I think yesterday, how the rumor of an earthquake event could quickly be picked up and killed by presenting credible local information very quickly. And the difference there is timeliness. So when a rumor began about something in St. Anne, the scientific team quickly moved in, provided information and said, we have looked at the record, it's still there. Now, the people who felt something do have a recourse. There is an earthquake report form, which needs to be maybe the subject of reminders to the Jamaican public. That if you think you feel an earthquake, go fill out the form. That form will be processed by scientists.
One moment, please. One moment. Yeah. We just need to take a break and come back.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
15 minutes to 9 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 5:15 a.m. in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
In tribute to Jamaicans in the diaspora, wherever you go, you shine. You make us proud. Despite our challenges at home, you never give up on us. Our sincere thanks. Wherever you go, you shine.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the Jamaican Diaspora live online on Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We're delighted to have joining us online Franklin MacDonald, very well known and highly sought after environmentalist, scientist. Anyway, that could take a while to go through all the accolades. But seriously, though, we really appreciate Franklin MacDonald and his sharing information with us, and we're so happy that he could join us this morning as well. Thank you very much, Mr. MacDonald.
My pleasure to be here, and I really prefer if you would call me a retired geologist and grandfather and concerned citizen.
All right, retired geologist, grandfather, and concerned citizen. I hope I remember them in that order. No, but seriously.
Well, you can't just say, I think you could just call me an old friend.
Yes, sir. We hear you loud and clear. Yeah, so you.
Let me put in something. I am really observing these things with a kind of Caribbean eye.
Yes.
I do follow similar events in other parts of the Caribbean.
Okay.
And unfortunately, to some extent, from a bit of a distance, since, as you know, I'm living with my son in Canada.
Mm-hmm. So you have your hands full.
Well, I have 5 grandchildren. I'm very pleased to be able to, interact with them. And I have 2 grown children. And some of those still live in Jamaica, but I happen to be here with my wife, and we are in reasonably good health given our age. Both of us are past 75.
That's very good going.
And maybe just to point out that it was also interesting to reflect on a reasonably long career as a geologist, since I was at one time head of the geological focal point. Then I became head of the ODP at the startup. And then, as many people may realize without knowing of the previous two careers, I ended up doing some of the things which the person you interviewed just before, Mrs. Shelton-Beck, was referring to, addressing issues of sustainability, environmental management, and building capacity for dealing with the environmental and sustainability challenges which we are still facing and which are addressed in the Vision 2030 initiative, which I'm happy to see is still underway and still fully supported by both political teams in Jamaica. And I refer to them as teams, even though sometimes their behavior may be not very sportsmanlike.
Yeah. And so the other thing now is are we expecting too much to think that we could have a situation where we have the kind of rainfall that we have had over the last few days, and without the kind of flooding that we have seen? Is it necessarily yes.
History should be our guide in many of these initiatives. Over the last few weeks, I've been sending you reminders about the distinguished history of severe flooding late in the hurricane season. And I think maybe only yesterday or the day before, sent you a reminder about the Swift River cloudburst.
Yes, you did. 37. I remember that. Yes.
In 1937, the Rio Grande was blocked by a landslide somewhere in the region of Berrydale, I think. And the Swift River village was washed out. We need to use those events to remind ourselves of something, which I also put in a message to you. Many of the severe flood events in Jamaica have come at the start of the hurricane season, at the end. And here is what I understand, not being a meteorologist. At the time of the changeover between the hurricane dynamics and the situation where we get cold fronts coming down, you have systems which lose their organization or are poorly organized, and they wobble their way through the Caribbean, and sometimes they stall. And if you look at the June 12, 1979 floods, which was at the start of the season, and also the events related to the November 1912 hurricane or the 1937 Rio Grande and Swift River washouts, you see the same thing, and we're seeing it replicated in the system which drifted up from the Gulf of Panama, did a bit of slight organization, and then it seems to be now dissipating as it drifts over Jamaica. The problem, and I heard an interview between the mid-service and another station late yesterday, the problem with its dissipation is that in the process of disorganizing, sometimes all the moisture comes out of it over some unfortunate landscape.
Oh.
And you see the mid-service, people tend to want to see the system with momentum moving through. But we also need to study the issue of uncertainty and disorganization. It is the disorganization that releases large amounts of precipitation on the Jamaican landscape. And the reason I emphasize the need to know how much rain fell and where is that it is the interaction between the precipitation and the landscape that causes human distress.
Yes.
So we really, since Wednesday, needed to know, did it live up to the forecast of 6 to 8 inches or 8 to 12 inches, and where? We know there's been heavy flooding in Hispaniola yesterday. But I'm yet to hear on any of the official statements an indication of how much rain fell and where, even though the satellite data should be giving that. So we have improved the technological tools.
Yes.
But I think we need to look at whether or not we are transferring the models we are gaining from the technology through the hands of the meteorologists and other specialists into the hands of decision makers and the public at large. And in the absence of a flow of information, the public makes up information.
That's right.
So, as in the day of the earthquake, we need to understand that the role of the emergency management focal point is to control, coordinate, and communicate. The communication is critical to the public feeling a sense of safety. The public making big decisions about the systems that are affecting us. And here I'm not making any criticism of Jamaica or anywhere else, but I do have access to information about what happens in the emergency focal points in the other Caribbean islands. And I did have a very minor role in the establishment of SEDIMA. These islands all face the same challenge. And we need to be learning from each other. And one of the things we have learned is that a key role of the emergency management focal point is in fact to keep the public informed. And this does not conflict with keeping the political directorate also informed. We need to be able to chew gum, walk straight, and juggle at the same time. And many of the offices can do it and should be allowed to do it.
No question about that. So now, go ahead. Sure.
Since I'm doing a bit of what's on my mind. It's been interesting to observe in the Caribbean in the last years where our appreciation of climate resilience has greatly increased and improved.
True.
But we cannot be resilient to climate and allow ourselves to become more vulnerable to earthquakes and tsunamis. Both things have to be done at the same time. And resilience should reside somewhere at the cabinet table, not necessarily in the hands of the Prime Minister. Because the way the Europeans improve their system, and this has been documented in OECD documents, which are freely available online, is that they decided that whenever their cabinets met in Europe, someone at the table should be responsible for risk. Normally that goes to the Minister of Finance. But risk reduction is a multifaceted long-term activity. And I do hear ads on the Jamaican media about risk reduction, and they are hurricane tips. Risk reduction covers much more than a single meeting at the start of the hurricane season. Or tips about what you should do if a hurricane is coming, you should evacuate or not. It is that where you put the building. I heard Mrs. Hollis yesterday explaining how difficult it is for her constituents to be protected when the geotechnical conditions in her constituency are so difficult. And the reason is simple. One of the major faults in Jamaica enters the islands through her constituency and curves through it. That's the Yalas Wagwater fault system. And so there is no escaping the fact that not only are there faults in Jamaica, but we know for sure that several of them are active. And the GPS measurements, especially those undertaken since the Haiti earthquake of 2010, give us a good idea which ones are moving, where they're moving, and what kind of energy deficit needs to be released in Jamaica for some kind of equilibrium to be arrived at. We're not having that discussion there, right? the new knowledge generated since the Haiti earthquake, I think, is partially available. But certainly people at UTEC and UWI have been holding meetings, and I don't think the private sector is fully aware of all the developments.
Sounds like we still have a whole lot of work to do, Mr. McDonald.
Yeah, well, just maybe 2 years ago, there was a meeting at the conference center, and everyone agreed that there needed to be a focal point for earthquake safety. At the time, we heard that the hospitals were being checked by PAHO. ODP was checking on the state of the emergency services, fire, police, etc. Nothing has happened in terms of a focal point for dealing with the fact that back in about 2008, a fairly general prediction was made about the fault which runs between Jamaica and Haiti, the EPTFZ, the Enriquillo Planting Garden Fault Zone, which is that it could generate an earthquake of magnitude 7 at any time. Haiti has since had 2 magnitude 7. The Jamaica hasn't had theirs yet. So we have seen in the last few months several flood events, and I'm not sure if, for instance, there is an assessment on the way of the reaction to the one at the end of October, or to where the focal point is, because as far as I know, the earthquake and tsunami challenges remain. We now experience the challenge related to tropical storm and cyclone. Whether they are organized or disorganized, they are a threat. And not only a threat, but an economic and societal safety threat.
Well, we
need to, whenever these events occur, there needs to be a cold and objective assessment of everything that's done. Really, at the outcome, but in every private sector firm, in every parish,
and in every household.
Every organization should now be fully doing an evaluation of what actions they took to reduce risks and improve safety based on the medium size as well as even we are now experiencing the benefit of all the weather information, especially the weather radar. And maybe some corrective action needs to be taken, since these are opportunities of improving performance. And we are good at that, Dervan. Jamaica can improve, and I think that the opportunity is taken to make sure that we do improve.
Yes. Well, we are grateful for the opportunity to have you join us on today's edition of the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online here on Power 106 FM. We are looking forward to many more opportunities to learn from.
Well, Dervan, yes. as you and I are always in touch, I do hope it's helpful, and I do hope that people in the diaspora also share their skills in complementing and developing the teamwork we need to make sure Jamaica continues to be a safe place to live and work, the things we see in the Vision 2030. And we need to also remind ourselves that Jamaica has contributed greatly in this particular area of emergency management, capacity building, risk reduction, to the Caribbean and to other places.
Yes.
So there are opportunities for doing a great deal, and I want to thank you for, getting me kind of out of my state of repose and rest. And happy to help.
Well, we can't thank you enough. Thank you very much. And let's keep the information flowing. We're loving it. Thank you so much. Well done.
Thank you very much, Dervan. All the best to the listeners.
And the same to you. Take care.
And especially the people of St. Thomas who really are anxious about it. I love to hear that you're safe.
Yes, we haven't had a detailed report yet or anything yet. So we'll keep listening and monitoring. Thank you very much, Franklin McDonald. All the very best. geologist, grandfather, and what was the other one? Thank you.
Concerned citizen.
Concerned citizen. There we go. Thank you very much. All the best. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we'll talk again soon, I'm sure. Thank you. Bye-bye. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online on Power 106 FM. All things being well, the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online returns next Saturday. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you very much. Please continue to be safe and all the best.
Thank you. Joining the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online with Dervan Malcolm, only on Power 106 FM.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4 minutes past 9 o'clock in the morning here at Broadcast House 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica, which means it's 3:15 p.m. in Kyiv, Ukraine.
Power 106.
Bye.